Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Cup of Joe with Joe and Joe Podcast. I'm your host, Joe, and with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Joe.
Bleach is back, baby, for the second time. Oh my god, I can't believe we're talking about this. I cannot believe this day has come.
Bleach is back! Part 2, baby! Let's go! Woo! Sorry, I had to get that out. I've been holding it in for the last couple of months.
Yeah, honestly, right?
Let's go. The separation, baby. Much like the previous part of 1,000 Year Blood War, million miles an hour. There is so much content that we get to churn through.
Big thing I noticed with this episode, Joe, you see so many characters. I think the most characters that have ever appeared in a Bleach episode appeared in this episode.
Joe, in front of me, I have, yet again, notes. I have an entire page of notes, and I have a delineation where it was like the first half of the episode or the second half of the episode, because the second half of the episode, we see like 45 bajillion characters, and I'm like, I gotta write all these down, oh my god. So, we start off, as all good stories do, with a massive rush of sperm.
A goddamn floating baby with the goddamn... Why is it always a floating baby? 2001 A Space Odyssey. Kind of weird, but yeah, we got a big floating baby, which we find out to be Yuha.
When the opening shot happened, and it's just the POV of all the fucking sperm shooting through the screen, I was like, are these supposed to be like souls, or is this sperm? And then I see like the actual like blastula forming. I was like, wait, what? So I'm not gonna tell them how to do their job. Honestly though, opening up your second part of the show, it's kind of metal that way. And also it looks so cool.
It was a cool opening.
So that leads us, of course, into one of two CG shots that I clocked in this that look really good. The first one, of course, being all the CGI hands like raising the Yuhaba baby.
Oh, cool.
All the energy flying out and around him, and then he becomes like the little boy Yuhaba, and then you do a smash cut into him as like the older Yuhaba, and you're just like, okay. So in this show, a lot has been said about its art style on the internet, between us as friends, as husbands, as BleachSluts. But Joe, this art style, it's so...
It looks good. It looks real good.
I'm gonna cry, dude. It's so fucking good.
Obviously, and we're just talking about like the opening like 2 minutes, not even. But the actual opening, the song and visuals. Damn, I felt like I was in like season 3 or 4 of Bleach. Like, oh my god, that was like some old school visuals I was getting.
Bro, this brought me right back to, for you, it was season 3, season 4. For me, season 1, the OG opening, where it's just everyone in street clothes, just going around their day and like...
Yeah, my favorite part of the opening, fucking seeing Kenpachi in like a button-down shirt and dropping the flowers over the bridge. Cool. I don't know why that stood out to me. I was like, that was so cool.
It's so cool. It's impeccable. So opening of part 2, the song, I was listening to it. It's all right. It's not really for me. Cool. I like the first one a whole lot more. But the visuals of this one, the flat like pastel coloring of everything, just the way all like the line art looks. It's so clean. It's so beautiful. We really have to control ourselves so we don't just spend 1 hour literally just gushing over visuals. The opening. Yeah, it's good. Take it from some BleachSluts, people who are not biased at all. It's very good. I like it a lot. But yeah, and then the entire first half of this episode is spent in the Quincy HQ, the name of which I'm not even going to try to pronounce because it's fucky German, and then you hear it pronounced by the Japanese voice actors, and you're just like, I can't even begin to attempt this, so I am not going to. But they're at their HQ, and everyone's all lined up, and they're just like, what the fuck is going on? They got like an announcement. Or is it like Taco Tuesday going on here? What's happening? Are they gonna announce something special? Of course, our boy Yuhaba comes on out, and he's just like, hey, so got a big announcement for you all. First of all, new mixtape dropping this Friday. Get it, download it, all that sort of stuff. Secondly, also less important, this new guy, his name's Uryu. He is not a lesbian, even though he kind of looks like it. Very fire in his cape, though. Also, he is my successor. All right, peace, that's it, bye. And everyone is totally fine and okay with this announcement.
SB's a little upset.
Just a little bit.
A little upset. He's a little moody.
He's the only
I think
one.
we can even tell Hoshwalt, you know, a long boy, glowy-eyed motherfucker. He's trying to act all cool, but he's a little upset too. And then my girl Bambietta, she was kind of upset too. Joe, I'm not sure if you know anything about that scene where she kills the guy and she zips up her boobs. Let's just say in the manga there was a little more.
No. Was I duped out of more sexy time?
You were duped out of a boob.
God damn it!
Everybody, it was a big deal because they were like, "Oh, the scene's gonna happen," and then when it finally happened, I was like, "Oh my god!" When she's like, "Oh, come back to my quarters," I was like, "Are they gonna do it?" You know, we got a little bit, but yeah, everybody on the internet's gonna be talking about that part because manga readers have been waiting that for a while.
God damn, dude! Between the sperm opening and then that scene with Bambi, I was like, "What?" There's a lot of sex implication going on here in Bleach.
Ubo's feeling a little feisty.
He's getting a little feisty up in here. All right. Okay. I see you, Studio Pierrot. It's because they're influenced by the French, and those guys are just horn dogs.
Fucking horny motherfuckers.
Yeah. But on the talking about that Bambietta scene a little bit more, that's a second smash cut that we got in this show, or in this episode specifically. And I fucking loved it because I love how Bambietta was just like, "You, come to my quarters." Now, it reminded me of that, what the hell? Alan Rickman in one of the Robin Hood movies, and when he's like super pissed off and he's pointing at like the different women around him, he's just like, "You, come to my chambers at 1:30. You, 10 minutes after," and he storms away. I'm just like, that's very funny that it's very similar to that. But of course, the guy, like the fellow Stern Ritter, is just like, "Yep, of course, I got you," and then it smash cuts. The scene goes from blue to red. The complete diametric coloring, especially in this show with the blues and the reds being, you know, like Soul Reaper and Quincy and that sort of shit. And then, of course, he just splits directly in half, and the blood is just gushing out of him, and she's framed perfectly in between the two halves of his body. Oh, mwah, mwah, oh, so good. And it is not lost on me the irony of the fact that she cleaved a man in two while showing her cleavage. Like,
yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe. We pay attention to the details.
I use my brain for very important academic purposes like this. And like similar to, I think in the last cour, there was a scene where there's supposed to be like a Rukia ass coming out of the hot spring when they were with the hot spring demon. I understand why you would take out the boob, why you would take out the ass shot. Like it's supposed to keep it so it's not like, it keeps a more consistent tone about it. So I understand that. Makes sense to me. I'm not that butthurt over the fact that I didn't get to see Bambietta's boob. Doesn't
it's just
matter.
one of those things where people are like, again, you know what this fandom is like, and you know what anime fandom is like, where they're gonna do like every little thing. But yeah, it was one of those things where everybody was like, are they gonna do it? Like you never know. And like, oh, okay, we got a little bit. We got something.
Yeah, we got a little bit. It's nice. It's a little bit there. But yeah, so of course, lots of chaos going along in the ranks right now because a lot of the Stern Ritters aren't too happy that this seemingly random person has just appeared and has like become Yuhaba's successor. Everyone's like, what the fuck? We don't know this guy. Why would we follow him? He hasn't proven himself at all. I don't get any of this. Of course, Bazby busy punching a wall. I don't know what the wall ever did to him, but he's punching the shit out of it. However, we then get to see Yuhaba and Uryu. And they're doing a little bit of a ritual. And of course, he's doing the, you know, Yuhaba cut his hand, he's pouring some blood into a cup, and he's talking to Uryu. And we get a little bit of context as to why Uryu is his successor. It's because he's the only one that survived the Auswahlen.
Little clap for Joe, everybody. That was nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's I'm happy they brought it up. Because this is something that all throughout the original series, you just have to roll with. They don't explain it at all.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it's just not explained if you think about it. Like, there, it was just, oh, he's the last Quincy, right? And so you thought about it as, okay, but why him? Why is he the last one? And then obviously we find out the whole massacre thing and what Yuhaba did, you know, how the Soul Reapers tried to exterminate them, all this stuff. It still didn't answer why was he alive. So you don't get that till this moment, or you don't even get the true answer why. You get the hint that there's a reason why.
All right. I guess this is part of the thing where Kubo was talking about putting more context into the show because he didn't have enough time to do it in the manga or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that, of course, relates back to Cour 1, when Uryu is going through his grandfather's journal and he realizes something and you're just like, what is it? And I guess at least part of it, if not all of what he realized then, is the fact that he's the only one who survived that thing. So, very cool. I really appreciate that. I appreciate also the fact that Yuhaba mentioned when he was introducing him to all the other Stern Ritters, he was just like, hey, so this guy, he's going to prove himself on the battlefield. He's going to do great things. He's got cool powers. And I'm like, the Stern Ritters have shown way more abilities than Uryu has so far, like in the series. But Yuhaba knows this. He's thinking in 4 dimensions because he's like, you're going to drink my blood. You're going to do this ritual. And then your new powers will awaken. And I'm like, oh, okay. I see you. So I'm very excited to see what the hell that ends up being.
Really portraying Uryu as a traitor, right? If you think about it, they're not doing the thing where they're doing an inner monologue with Uryu, like, oh, I'm going to trick Yuhaba and I'll get close and destroy him or whatever. Like, no, this is, like, he's Ichigo's enemy at this point.
Which I still don't believe. I think he's playing...
But they're not, they're trying to really, really convince you, though.
Yes, they are trying to convince you. But I think he's also he's playing 4D chess with Yuhaba. They're just at different tables right now until they eventually converge on one table.
Mm-hmm.
But with the ending of that, we then get into the second half of the episode, which is where we then travel to a bunch of other characters. I'm just going to lightning through like all of them that we see, and we can go more in depth on them after like we mention all of them real quick here. So we have Chad, Orihime, and Urahara all in Wako Mundo. Chad and Orihime training. Mr. Hat and Clogs is doing his own thing with one of the Quincy medallions, so he's trying to figure out what's going on there.
There's also a hooded figure.
Oh.
I'm not sure if you picked up on that.
I did not.
Yes, Joe. So go back and maybe rewatch those scenes. There's a hooded figure the first time it's introduced, and then the longer scene towards the end of the episode where it goes back to Orihime and she's talking about how peaceful it is. They do a quick cut to a hooded figure outside of the tent that Urahara set up.
Okay. I'll take a look at that again. Then we move on to Rukia and Renji, who are training with Ichibe, the paintbrush guy. Remember, I have a different name for all of the 4 guys in Squad 0, or however many there are there. And so this guy I'm just going to call the paintbrush man. Apparently they're doing some Goku-esque training because the room they're in has like way more intense gravity or spiritual pressure or whatever mumbo jumbo you want to throw in there. And Ichibe just comes along and he's like, all right, you guys, you're doing great. Let's go fucking train. And then you also have Byakuya with the hot spring demon guy. He's all healed up and ready to go. Then we get to see the Vizards. Finally.
I know, it's so cool. It's been forever.
It's been so long. I love the fact that it's Shinji calling on the phone to the main...
soul phone.
It's the fucking soul phone. I can't. There's another thing like that.
He's calling Hiyori.
Yeah, Hiyori. There's another weird soul device that's going to come up towards the end here that I want to talk about.
Oh, the soul ticket?
Yeah, we'll get to it. But, yeah, cool to see those guys. I love how Hiyori is just like, I'm not fucking doing that. And then the big guy comes in with the package and he's like, oh, they already sent it over. And she's just like, God damn it, fine. Okay, let's do it, everyone. And everyone's like, God, we don't really want to do it either. So they're presumably patching up the space between the Soul Society and the living world. And then you have the high school friend group, which I was like, what? I don't remember the last time we saw the high school friend group.
Long time. That's what I said. You see a lot of characters in this episode, and ones that you're like, it's been a minute since I've seen you.
Yeah. And also the fact that while we're seeing the high school friend group, all of a sudden Shunsui appears. And you're just like, what the fuck is the new head captain doing in the world of the living? And he's such a cool guy, you know? He's
awesome.
Come there.
I love him. I want to grab a drink with Shunsui, let me tell you.
I do. I really do. And like him in this new art style, like the eye patch, the hat, the beard, the fucking
stubble.
kimono that he's wearing,
He's
the
got
stubble.
The sexiest stubble.
Oh, he looks so good in this new art style. Everyone looks so good in this new art style, but especially him because of his colors. So fucking solid. Anyway, he's there because he's like, hey, just want to let you guys know, Ichigo, he's going through a time right now. He's totally fine. I think he's going to be great. But he may evolve into a higher being because of the powers that he obtains, and therefore you will never be able to see him again because if he comes to the world of living, he's going to disrupt a whole bunch of shit. So, soul tickets for everyone! Woo! I have written down soul tickets dash stupid, comma, but Shunsui is a gem.
Yeah, yes. The way he does it, he's like, don't worry, guys, you'll be financially compensated.
Yep. He's like the president of like Disney, and he's like at fucking Disney World, and he's like, don't worry. Yay. So your mother, she's probably gonna be trapped in the bowels of Disneyland forever. However, here's a couple of fast passes for you kiddos. All right, go have fun. It's like, what? Hey, wait, no, hang on.
It's literally that.
Yeah, but I do appreciate how Shunsui is just like, he's come to Ichigo's friends, and he's saying to them, this is what Ichigo would want. He wants you guys to know that he's safe, and you should probably get the chance to say goodbye to them if, like, it comes to that sort of thing. It might not, but it might. So I'm just letting you guys know. And I'm like, God damn, Shunsui, you're such a fucking real one. Like, you think Captain Yamamoto would give two fucks about these guys?
Hell no.
Absolutely not. So, see all of that. And then the episode ends with the Seirei being invaded, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. And we learn a little bit more about the legend of Yuhaba, where, you know, he regains his pulse after 900 years, regains his mind after 90, and then he regains his strength after 9. Yuhaba is telling Uryu, he's like, hey, there's a little bit more to that. There's one more line that's really going to contextualize everything that's happening here. He takes the world in 9 days. Well, that's an important detail that you left out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so the final line of this episode is just, the world has 9 days left. And then it is.
It's so cool. It's so cool. And then it's a different type of invasion too, because I think they'll explain it a little bit more, and they try and do it visually. But it's like the Seirei has almost been moved to their kingdom.
Yeah.
That's what it is implied. Maybe it's a different type of explanation, like they're merged or something, but it's like, all right, you're coming to our home field now. And we finish with the kind of the last little like poem at the end is Rukia, who I do know in this upcoming part has some pretty cool scenes, is all I'm gonna say.
I'm bouncing in my chair right now. I can't fucking stop.
I know. And the ending song, again, fine. It was good. Visuals, everything, you know, very dramatic. That's also the music during the whole episode. We got a lot of that orchestral upbeat music, which sounded amazing. Overall, this is a great start to part 2. And there is just with the setup of all these characters, there's so many more places we can go. Needless to say, we're going to have a lot to talk about in the future.
I cannot fucking wait for it, dude. Bleach is back. Cour 2, the separation. I hope you guys are watching this. I really do, because this is, and I don't mean this as just a Bleach slut. This is something special, and I'm so excited we're finally here. So, with that being said, everyone, always remember, Bleach sluts for life. We'll love you, we'll leave you, and goodbye.